Hey guys, J-Man here for the semifinals here of our 80s fantasy tournament. So that's gonna be it's gonna be really good. It's gonna be tough because we're doing four movies at once, so we're not gonna do a normal versus. I'll kind of explain the rules once we get everybody going. Before that, let's go through a couple of updates. There's like a super. I have to actually use my cell phone for non-fun things, which is like a schedule here because I've got so much crap next week. So this Monday on my channel, 7:30 p.m. Eastern Monday, we're doing the Legion of Superheroes. So 3 Mondays of every month on my channel, Sean and I and Clobberin Times, the three of us, are going to be doing the Legion of Superheroes. We're going in order of their appearances, covering about 2 issues a week. Every second Monday, I will be on Clobberin Times on Earth B talking some Bob Haney. Okay. So that's going to be once a month on Clobby's channel. The other Mondays are here. So this is all takes place before the Monday Night Mark C Comic Talk on Clobby's channel. Okay. I know it's a bit confusing. You guys will get used to it. So 3 times here, the second Monday of the month, I'm on Clobberin Times. All right. Thursday is going to be the WWE stream, okay, with Steven and I, 7:30 p.m. Eastern. 1 week from today, I believe, if everyone is okay, will be the final 80s Fantasy Versus, determining the winner. I see head shaking, so I think that's good. This Saturday, not this Saturday, but next Saturday, Sean and I and Professor Bill from Comic Book University are all going to be on Gray Malkin's channel. So you guys know Gray Malkin, 1407 Gray Malkin. He's on as a frequent guest a lot over here. We're going to be talking about my favorite single issue comic, if you just call it a single issue comic, Giant Size X-Men #1. Introduction of all those great characters that we all love. To me, it's like probably the most important X-Men comic, I guess, other than #1, but I actually think it's more important than issue 1. So we're going to really dissect the crap out of that on next Saturday, not this Saturday. Okay, a lot of stuff, and there's still more stuff to come down the line as well. All right, so let's get our panel in here so we can start this thing up. Let's bring in our first panelist. Hey, Sean.
Hey, what's up?
All right, we do have a poll going as well on the thing. So the poll can only be one option. So let's see what everyone picks. All right, let's bring in our next panelist. Hey, Steve.
Hello.
All right, we got 2 more to come in. We got 2 more. Full house today. All right. All right, Charlie, what's up?
What's going on, guys?
Hey. All right, and we got 1 more. I'm gonna give him the special intro.
Well, hello, Mr. Fancy Pants.
Hungry boy, I gave you the fancy pants.
So accurate, bro. So accurate. But hey, I'm a Giant Size X-Men #1 fan too. I am a cockrum whore. I can't wait to
hear. Make sure you say the full name.
What, hungry for more cockrum whoredom, boy?
But just don't abbreviate it. That's all. That's it.
Don't forget the rum.
Yeah, don't forget.
Oh, dude! I mean, cockrum is like getting Micronauts in your Christmas package in the 70s.
Sean, do you have the whole set? Do you have Micronauts? Did you collect that?
No, I didn't. I had it in my hand and I put it back because I thought it was too expensive. I don't have all the Micronauts. No.
Why did I think that? I almost would have bet anything.
Buy it like an idiot. I didn't. So yeah.
In J-Man's defense, Sean is like a legend at these shows. Like he walks in and like literally, I see red carpets come flying out from nowhere.
There's the card guy that loves Sean. He doesn't like me because I don't really buy from him, but he likes Sean because Sean buys his cards and nobody buys cards.
Cards, and I love the case of the sealed.
Yeah.
Like I've got Magnum PI, I've got Superman 3,
Oh
It's
man,
awesome,
I really want
and
Superman
just keep them in those cases. I'll open them when I'm 90 or something.
Okay, the last case. This will date me. The last case I bought, full case, the Crow City of Angels. That was the last time I bought.
Wow.
Yeah.
Mine
I actually
was an X-Men one or something.
X-Men, nice.
One of the Fleers.
Well, I think Crow that came out before that came or well, I don't know. I did buy all of the Marvel Masterworks.
Yeah.
So I don't know if they came out before. Maybe they came, but I'm talking about the full, like with those Masterworks and those Marvel cards, I bought packs, like not the full box. Like I bought a box of Ken Kelly.
Yeah.
He did I think Ken Kelly did a couple of series. I bought those boxes, but I think Crow came after that. But maybe I'm wrong then. But I never opened the Crow City of Angels. So, I love that movie. Let's say hi to everybody. Shooter's already here. How's it going, man? Cannot be reached. How's it going, dude? Thank you. I know where's the. I know I do need to get the what is best in life. I was showing this. Man, I posted this. Oh, I can't pick them up. There's so many. Steve saw these yesterday. I went to Steve's place yesterday. I'm like, let me stop off at the comic shop and pick up one or two items. I literally bought every Superboy comic that the entire shop had. I cleared it. I was like, I'm like, you found somebody who likes Superboy. So I did take a picture of that and posted it on
he did
on Twitter and Facebook. But I don't know. It's like some people like Facebook, some people like Twitter. And some people like Instagram, and I can't do Instagram. Every time I do it, the pictures don't come out right or something.
You gotta format it.
Yeah, see,
I can tell you how to do that.
All right, okay, yeah. It's like I'm like, why do I have to do something extra? And now I'm done.
That's the pain in the ass with it, but
right. Yeah, because you always post great stuff on Instagram. You got all these little thingies. I'm like, what is this? Like, I don't know how to do any of that. I tried to, and I'm like, screw it.
It took me a while to learn, but we got her.
All right. Well, let's take a look. Let's take a look at our standings here. So this is where we're at. So the final four are Hawk the Slayer, Conquest, the Barbarians, and the Sword and the Sorcerer. Now, normally we would do 2 movies, go through my space system, story, pacing, artistry, characters, enjoyment, pick which one wins and why. This time around, we're going to rank the stories, rank the pacing, rank the artistry, rank the characters, rank the enjoyment. So you're going to have, and then we're going to see which ones win just by majority of votes per category. And then we'll analyze it when it's done. All right.
Sounds fun.
Let's check the poll. So far, Hawk the Slayer's got all the votes. Okay. So I'm thinking maybe we'll do it from our least to best. So, for example, we'll look at the story. Hey, Shadow Viper.
What's up, Benny?
So we'll take the story first, and you'll tell me which one has the worst story, the second worst story, then the second best, and the best. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah.
So the worst story to the best story. Make things easier because I've got like a little notepad here. I'm just gonna like S is Sword and the Sorcerer, H is Hawk the Slayer, Conquest, Barbarians.
Yeah.
And that's how I'm going to note it. So, it'll just be easier for me to see the letters.
We're going to do that for all of the 4 that you put up in the thumbnail on Tweety.
All 4 of those movies, and we're ranking them in our categories. So the one that has the best story might not be the one that has the best pacing.
Right. But when we start off on story, we're going to be starting off with the one we think out of these 4 is the worst story out of the 4. Yes.
Right.
Yes.
Yeah. It's like we're going to work up to the one that we like the best in the story in each category.
Do that with all the other categories. Yes.
We're going to do it with all the categories. Then we're going to see. So, for example, if all of us happen to agree that X has the best story, then that's the winner in that category, and we'll see which one wins the most categories. And if there's ties or something weird going on, we'll go through them again. We're gonna do 12 Angry Men. Like, we have to pick 2. So
this is gonna take 4 hours.
Well, that's why we're gonna get right into it. So let's go. Okay, so the story. Steve, we chatted without saying which one, but you did have your picks
already,
right?
Yeah.
So let's do story. What did you think was the worst story?
Conquest. It's the one I was probably the most bewildered at. I had no idea what was going on a lot of the time. It was just bananas. Like I think I understood how things went by osmosis, and just in a my fog-induced haze that the movie put me in. I was just like,
yeah.
Okay.
movie.
So second worst.
Second worst is Sword and the Sorcerer. I think we talked about this last time. I had absolutely no frigging idea what the hell was going on. Like a lot of time, characters just seem to come out of the woodwork.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. And then the next. So now it's second best story.
Second best is Hawk the Swear. I was less bewildered than the other two movies. The pacing did throw me off, and it actually made me tune out sometimes. So I think that was my fault. I think the story probably made more sense than I thought it did. So I'm going to say Hawk the Swear for second. And number one, which I actually think was a really good story, was Barbarians. I really thought it kept me guessing. It surprised me. It was very easy to follow. So for me, clear it was Barbarians, and then the rest just went by degrees of bewilderment for me. So,
right. So the only one that you thought actually had a really good story was actually Barbarians, and the other ones you ranked just whatever. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Sean.
My least was Sword and the Sorcerer, because who is anyone? The second least is Conquest. There's some meandering going on there. If you have to dig it for something, right?
Yeah.
And second best is Haunt the Slayer. I can dig it for them just sitting around in that place, I guess. And the best story is Barbarians.
Yeah. Yeah. See, yours is almost the same as Steve's, except for the last two. But we're looking for the top two.
Right.
Right. So this. So I actually let's finish round one, and then I like the way this is turning out. You know what I mean? Like this seems like a good way to do the final four. That's different than just doing another verses and talking about the same stuff again.
Right.
All right, Charlie, what's your least favorite story?
Conquest.
Yeah.
Just same as what everyone else said. It's almost impossible to follow, and the fact that most people keep watching it because of the boobs. I mean, as much as we love the boobs, that can't be the entire reason I watch your movie.
That's artistry.
You know,
that's artistry. Save it for artistry.
That would be higher though. So yeah, I'm dinging it for the boobs for some reason. I don't know why.
Yeah, that was weird.
That's fine.
I think I'm going to go. This is probably the most difficult for the next three. But I'm going to say Hawk is my third pick for story. Right. I'm not a huge D&D guy, as straight up D&D, and I understand, the story type. But it does get a little odd at times, when the Oracle and everything shows up and then going on the little mini quests. Second one's going to be Barbarians. It's fun. It's easy to follow, kind of disjointed because of the time leap and some of the people still looking like they're the same age. But it's serviceable, and Sword and Sorcerer, I still say, is one of my favorite stories. I can follow it all the way through. I love the hero's journey. I love his, beginnings through. You learn a little bit of history of him, being basically this saver of kingdoms and how he's made a presence on everyone. And then at the end, he prevails overall. So I'm going to give it to Sword and Sorcerer.
All right. Okay. Hungry Boy, what's the weakest story out of the four?
I do not want to sound like Steven here, but I'm gonna be the Mike Stoklosa today. I'm sorry about that. Okay. So for me, it is Conquest. I absolutely cannot stand the script in Conquest. I do like the movie, but it is not because of the pseudo script. Second worst would be the Barbarians, because essentially for me, it is a sitcom with boobies that features fantasy tropes and fantasy accoutrement. Okay, now it is an entertaining movie, but I don't consider it a great fantasy movie, and that's what we're here to judge.
Right. Okay.
Then I would go for third best, Sword and the Sorcerer. It has everything you want in such a genre. It is trying very hard, especially for someone who is starting out like Mr. Pian. And then, yeah, God rest his soul. I wish he was still with us.
Mhm.
And then, okay, I am a D&D guy. Okay, Hawk wins.
And that's totally fair. Nothing wrong with that, Hungry.
All right. So Hawk the Slayer is your number one.
It's a D&D movie. It is the ultimate D&D movie.
It is a
right?
D&D
It truly is.
I am biased. And I'm done.
Okay. All right. So for me, I'm going to say the weakest story, in my opinion, was Sword and the Sorcerer, because like what's going on and who is anybody is what Sean, I think, said. My next weakest story. Okay. This was tough for me. My next weakest story is going to be Hawk the Slayer. Okay. The next three, I like all the stories. The next three, I like all the stories. I'm a D&D. I actually, Sword and the Sorcerer is the only one where I'm like, I don't know what's going on. Whatever. I'm just going with it. That's my Sword and Sorcerer. And I actually watched everything. I watched all the features, all of the special features on that 4K, the commentary, the whole thing. I did the whole thing. It's awesome. It's really worth getting the 4K on Sword and the Sorcerer. 100%.
Yeah, I need to pick that up.
You need to get it 100%. Okay. But I still have, but the storylines, there's no storyline. In my opinion. Next was Hawk the Slayer. It's D&D, but I just felt it was a bit lazy in the end. Next best story for me is Conquest. Again, I don't know what's like. I know nothing's going on, but I'm excited about what the nothingness is, and that's why I don't know. I'm more pumped up for them doing the stuff and fighting that woman and all that Okron and everything. So, and then the best story for me is Barbarians. It is simple, but you could follow it, and it's more. I know it's like a sitcom they're saying, but like, I don't know. I'm just with everybody. Like I'm with them. I'm like, yeah, we're going on this adventure together, and we got to get this ruby, and then we're gonna fight these monsters along the way. We're gonna upgrade our armor. Like I feel like it's like a D&D adventure that is fun to play. Like I'd love to play in that. You know, it's like, yeah, I'm gonna be a barbarian, swing the big weapon, and like change the weapons around, which we'll get into the characters. So that's my order.
Okay, so it's like a perfect module for you.
It's a perfect module. Yes.
There you go.
Okay, so right now, Barbarians has three number one spots and one number two spot. So that looks like Barbarians.
Another way you can do this, J-Man, is once we're all the way done, you tally up what each movie's score is. Like every total from each one, that will tell you who got the most votes.
Yeah,
that might be a little bit easier than trying to dissect each specific one. And then it's a total of 4 points for the best, 1 point for the worst, in between, and tally it up at the end.
That's
okay. Sounds good. Yeah, sounds good.
Cool.
Okay, so Barbarians right now has one. We're just doing the best, right?
Yeah.
Okay. I got you. All right.
I got one question. Are we going to be able to add an extra point for something that is not under the categories that a film did that the other films didn't do?
Well, you've got your enjoyment factor, so you can rank that however you want. That's
it gives us a wild card. I mean, there's a chance there's still a tie that could happen in this.
Okay, I'll save for that. Yeah,
we'll just have to see. I'd say you tally up before we get to enjoyment, and then
I
maybe
call
that
it X factor, but I'm a geek.
Yeah. But like right now, you can take every score that we all gave Barbarians, add them all up. That's Barbarian's score right now.
Right.
Take everyone's score for each individual movie. That's their score, and as we go, they all get added, and then you find out who had the most votes.
Yeah. So, for example, right now, Barbarians has 3 votes for a number one spot. Hawk the Slayer has 1 vote, and Sword and the Sorcerer has 1 vote. So, Charlie, you voted for Sword as the best. Yeah. Steve, Sean, and I gave Barbarians, and Hungry Boy gave Hawk the Slayer.
Right.
So that's how we're doing it. Okay, perfect. Pacing. Let's go. Charlie. What about? Let's do you first this time for pacing.
Oh Lord, this was the tough one. I think I'm going to ding Conquest again.
Yeah.
Because it does take a little while for things to kind of get going, to at least know what the hell's happening, especially till we get to Mace.
Yeah.
So I'm going to make that one my worst. God, the other three are almost like exactly paced together. I'm going to go Sword and Sorcerer as my third, Hawk the Slayer for my second, and the best paced I think is Barbarians. It just goes. There's no like lost time. They're not wasting any storytelling time. They're telling a story as stuff's happening. Right. And you go everywhere with the Barbarians too. So it's just go, end, and it's great. So I'm going to say that Barbarians is my top.
Okay, I'll go next. I'm going to say I'm not bored on any of these four. Whichever two make it to the top two, I'm totally good with. I have my enjoyment ones that I like. I know the two that I want, but if they don't make it, they don't make it. Yeah. I'm just going to say the slowest one. Mine is the same as the story. So the slowest one was Sword and Sorcerer, because if I'm not really sure exactly what's going on, I lose a little bit of interest. So it feels longer. That's the only, but like I'm fine with it. Next one is Hawk the Slayer, because again, I feel that like they're going back and forth too much with them just sitting around in that monastery or whatever. I'm like, well, and then Conquest, because it's slow, but they're moving around and there's different things. There's different creatures that always come to appear. So it feels more exciting to me. And Barbarians is the best paced, as Charlie said. I mean, there's not even 1 millisecond that's like, all the other ones have something. Like I could cut Conquest down, obviously, or I could cut all these down. But Barbarians, man, I'm almost like I wouldn't mind adding 10. I wouldn't mind adding 10 minutes to it. So that's my order. Let's do Hungry Boy next.
Okay. Well, see, here's the thing where I'm not going to sound like myself, and I apologize for that. But when it comes to worst pacing, and I'll lead up to why I'm not going to sound like myself. The worst pacing for me was Conquest, and I've seen this film 4 times. Okay, I've actually dissected it for a video that I took off YouTube, and it is just too slow, too meandering, blah 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 blah. Now for the third worst, I would actually hate to say this. I really don't like saying it, Hawk, because I know what it's trying to do, but it's losing a lot of the people who don't understand the core material. If you're not a D&D fan, Hawk is going to be slow as turtles trying to walk on frozen molasses for you. And then for second, I would go for actually Sword and the Sorcerer. I think it moves along at a rocking pace. I think it's covering all the beats. It's explaining all the beats. But for pacing, I have to go for the Barbarians. And I don't think anyone would have expected me to say that. But it just moves so cleanly from bit to bit to bit. But that's also, like I said, the sitcom aspect of it. It's not giving you a chance to get bored at any given point. And I love it for that. I rewatched it last night before coming on tonight. And although I do not consider it, no spoilers, the best of the fantasy films, when it comes to pacing, I have to give it the trophy. I have to give it the gold medal.
Okay. All right. We started with Steve last. Let's go Sean next.
So my least for pacing is Conquest, the reasons everyone else gives. Hawk is my third. Sword and Sorcerer is my second, and Barbarians is the best pace to me.
Wow. All right. Steve.
My worst one for pacing is actually Hawk. There's just
For the
too
reasons
much,
that Hungry Boy gave you.
just too much hanging out, talking about food. I didn't mind it the first time, but when they kept doing it, I was just
So hold on, in D&D, that's where everyone's eating their pizza.
I know.
Right? Like that's what Hungry Boy's trying to say. It's like that's when we're like, okay, guys, let's take a break, eat pizza. What's my character doing? I don't know. They're playing dice games or something.
Yeah, I mean, there's a reason for it. I just theatrically when I'm watching, I'm like, again, come on, guys. Anyhow.
But it's also the easy way out for the DM, right? Right, Jay? It's
right. I can take a break. I can go take a piss.
You can introduce any character who's just going to give you a tidbit of information to solve the puzzle, right? That's what the tavern is for.
All right.
Second worst is Conquest. Pretty much what everyone said. Very meandering. The Boyles thing just seemed to go on forever. Yeah. So yeah. Second best is Sword and the Sorcerer. I actually think it moves pretty well. It actually moves maybe a little too fast at times, very breakneck, and I feel like I missed parts of the movie, and I'm like, is this like a TV cut I'm watching where they cut stuff during the commercials, and I got that cut for some reason. And first is Barbarians. I agree with J-Man. Add 10 minutes to it, please. Like add the stuff before the entire attack on the caravan. I think that would have been awesome. But otherwise, there's very little. You can't trim anything off that movie. So
I want like teenage versions of the Barbarians for some reason. Like, give me that little spot between they were little kids, just before the gladiator fight, and show the teenagers briefly, separate, but just doing dumb barbarian shit, but teenage style. That would have been hilarious.
Right.
I agree.
Okay, so Barbarians scored all 5 points to Barbarians for that one. Wow. Okay.
We're almost going to the final here, Jay, man, because if Barbarian sweeps, it's not next week. It's going to just be us.
We have to pick a second one though. So
it's good. It's going to be. It's good as no. I know. Yeah. If I was already anticipating that. But the thing is, not all of us agree like on the second one. And then the other thing too is that there's a few people who aren't like hardcore Barbarians on this one either, because there's still a lot of top contenders like Hawk the Slayer's up there, and like Sword and the Sorcerer has a lot of secondary votes too. So it's and I'm not fully with one, because there's only one movie on here where I'm like, I like it, but I'm not super dying over it. And 3 of them I really like, and I can take any of the 3. All right. Let's go to artistry. This was the hardest one for me because I like them for different reasons, but let me see what everyone else says first. So I don't remember who went first. Let's do, Hungry Boy, why don't you go first this time?
Oh, why you want to pick on me, man?
It's a privilege.
It is. I take it as privilege. Okay. So first off, regardless of what I said in the last thing that we talked about, Barbarians for me is the worst, except for, this is the caveat, and we always got a caveat. The tube worm swamp monster at the end was brilliantly done. Fantastic. I mean, it's like half the budget of the film went into that thing, but we didn't see it enough, and we didn't see it actually eat the sorceress. We saw them be scared, and then we saw her in the belly of it, and I don't like that. Okay, if you give me a setup, you got to give me a payoff. All right, and in general, the film always had a payoff for the setup, but the oh my God, the armor was so terrible in this film, and the makeup on the caravan people, it was like cats without people being cats. Oh, jeez. I mean, the women looked lovely. Okay, we have to give the TNA quotient for the artistry quotient. They look gorgeous, but I mean, after we see what Richard Lynch looked like in Sword and the Sorcerer, You cannot accept the way he was presented in the Barbarians. Oh, that was awful. That was like Rocky Horror Picture Show tries to do Conan. And so I gotta go like 4, like lowest, for the artistry in Barbarians. Then next, until I don't want to sound like not myself again. Hawk could have been better with the costuming, etc. If they had some more budget. If they had Krull budget, would have been way better. So I go for artistry. Hawk number 2. I want to put it higher. I can't. Number 3, artistry. I have to go with Conquest, as much as I don't want to. But there was effort put in there. There was a lot of effort put in there. And finally, for artistry, I got to say, Sword and the Sorcerer takes it on all levels, because it's really trying with a limited budget to kind of do the Excalibur thing. It's really trying to mix comic books with a sense of history, and you have decent armor. You have a decent dungeon where people are getting tortured. You have a brilliant banquet scene. And so for artistry, I've got to give it to Sword and the Sorcerer, and I'm done.
Okay. All right, let's go, Steve. Let's do Steve's next.
This was the toughest one.
It is tough. This is the toughest. This is tough.
This is tough because there's stuff to like about every movie.
Yeah.
For worst, I'm going to go with Hawk the Slayer. I didn't really love the music, and I didn't love the repeating sequences. There was just parts of it I just didn't love. I love the matte painting. I love the look of it in general, but there was just enough about it that I had to put it on 4th. 3rd is Conquest. The fog is just too much. It's just too much, and I can't ignore the fog. 2nd is Sword and the Sorcerer. There's not a lot to dislike about Sword and the Sorcerer artistically. It's got great music. I love the costumes. I love the sets, the sound, the everything to do it. I love the demon makeup, all that stuff. I think it's really awesome. And number 1 is Barbarians. There's just I love the mountains and all that. I like the music, and it's just I love the caravan people. I don't know how they look. I know Hungry Boy what you said, but I love the look of them.
It's okay.
It's just there's nothing about it that I dislike artistically. So for me, it's number 1.
For me, I'm going to say Hawk is the weakest. I think Hawk looks wicked, and Jack Palance looks cool, and everyone else is just like a bit like lazy. Like they're, it's like it's like Lazy Dwarf. It's like, okay, he's a guy. It's like, they're just yeah. I think it's budget. I do like the music in Hawk the Slayer because I do have the soundtrack, the CD soundtrack. Dun, 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 dun. I like the songs. But yeah, it's the weakest one for me. Next, after that, I like all 3 of these movies. So I don't know. I didn't know what to do at all. I put Barbarians next. The monster didn't look as like, it looked cool to me, but I don't know. I like the caravan people. I love the music in it. I love the music I like the music in all 4 of these. I like the music in all of them. I have the Barbarians. I downloaded it off YouTube because I have the official CD of Hawk the Slayer and the official Sword and the Sorcerer CD that I purchased. So I have the actual soundtracks. Conquest, there's an LP out there. I would buy it in 1 millisecond, but it's like $100 and I don't have a turntable. So that's my weakest is Hawk. Then Barbarians. Even though I love the Barbarians. After that, I'd say Conquest. I know the fog is there, but I like Conquest. I like the monsters. I like, it's like there's gore in it. The girl's got this, like, she's humping the snake and all that. I'm like, that's kind of weird. It's just weird. And I think the soundtrack is bloody awesome. I know it's, 1/4 of Goblin or whatever. I don't know. However many people Goblin is, it's only the one guy from it. But one guy from Goblin is better than every score that's come out for the last score I bought was like, I don't know, years ago. Like, so I love the score. But I gave it to number 1 to the Sword and the Sorcerer, man. That's like everything I've ever wanted. like if I made that movie, I'd be like, you did it, buddy. Like it's just like you did it. Like everything that you wanted, you got in there. It looks cool, man. I like that weapon, that 3-sword thing. They're saying it's impractical. They're liars. I've used it. It's perfectly fine in combat. So those people are totally liars. I don't know. Like the girl's like super attractive. She looks good now. I don't hold that actresses, but she's looking pretty good now. So I don't know. I really like Sword and Sorcerer. Like even like poster art, like it's like that. It's like total package. So the Sword and Sorcerer, the best thing it's got for me is the artistry. Like easy. Like it is what I think of fantasy. Like fantasy, yeah, that's it. Yeah, Sword and Sorcerer, that's exactly what I think. So Barbarians was close, but the budget wasn't there, and Hawk the Slayer didn't have the budget. But Barbarians had a lot of heart. That's I wanted to give it more because it has the heart of like they want to make something fun, and I really want to give them that. But it's fucking Sword and the Sorcerer, man. That movie's outrageous. It's awesome. So that's my pick. Let's go, Charlie.
Conquest. They could have had all the money in the world. They could have had the most beautiful set dressings, everything, and I can't fucking see it. I can't see it. Someone should have smacked that guy that did that, the cinematographer. It was the dumbest plan ever to do that. Because the movie should have been awesome. It should have been right up there. Fuck that guy. He's like just below incest in these movies.
Oh my god!
Just below.
Just below. Yeah, but,
So you're saying good on paper is not good enough?
God, so bad.
Oh no, I had a thing here. I can't find it.
Uh-oh.
I uploaded a really funny one. I'll upload it while you're talking.
Okay.
Right, what's your next one?
My next one's gonna be Hawk. I kind of the same things J-Man said. There's very lazy things done. Dwarf is lazy. Elf is lazy. They should have been burned. They said he was a black elf because he was burned, and they didn't even do it. And it's kind of, it feels like it's on a theater set. Right. Sometimes that works. This time it didn't. And it irritated me. Number 2 is Barbarians. I love the set. Barbarians, I feel like I'm there wherever they're at. I feel like I'm where they are. I know Hungry didn't like it, but I love the armor the Barbarians get when they go full He-Man. I absolutely love how they look. The dragon scale chainmail armor. I want the hammer. No, I want the sword. No, I want the sword now. I fucking love that.
I love you, Charlie, but no.
That's it. And I mean, when you're talking artistry, god damn it, the Barbarian brothers have to be considered artistry when you put them in a movie. I mean, God, they're sculpted out of marble, damn it. So I love and then the best one is Sword and the Sorcerer, dude. I love the aesthetic of that entire movie. I feel transported there. Yeah. Richard Mall is, if someone didn't tell you and he didn't speak, you wouldn't know that was Richard Mall as the demon at the beginning of it. And that's really good makeup effect. And like J-Man said, you can swing that sword. That's why you fire off those 2 blades immediately. And now you're left with, single blade sword. But the ballroom scene where he's up on the cross being crucified, the giant X, totally was a lot of baby oil. What's
this bullshit?
But you popped everybody. That's awesome.
That's what I was trying to find for Charlie when he was talking about the goddamn thing, can't see anything. He's like, what's this bullshit?
I feel, man, this is bullshit.
I'm an Irish Catholic, Charlie, and I love the fact you saying, "Oh, the crucifixion was really cool."
It was cool. It was cool. It looked awesome. A movie that has the balls to do that, go. I mean, it wasn't a cross; it was an X.
Go Pyan.
Dude, Albert Pune, man. I mean, that for his first movie, he fucking crushed it, man. I know it's lacking in places, but I look at everyone else's first movies. They're nowhere near what Albert Pune did. The music's badass. The music's a badass in most of these, like J-Man said. But Sword and Sorcerer, it gets you amped when he's actually getting into the fights. When he does that big yell, when he dives into all of the dudes he's getting ready to battle, that music swells. It's fucking amazing. So,
and it has real slow motion versus this digital crap that we have to put up with.
Yes, non-matrix slow motion.
Yeah.
Bullet time.
And then speed
Right.
up. Yeah.
Hey, man.
They were all like dodging the blades as they fly out of the sword.
All right. Okay, Sean.
My rank is the same as yours, I think. So, like J-Man. So I had to go by, this was tough, right? So I had to go by what looked more lived in and represents what they're trying to depict versus stuff that kind of didn't. So to me, Hawk was the worst because Shirley said it looks like a stage play half the time. It looks like a freaking PBS production or something.
Yeah.
The third, I would say, it breaks my heart, but because the rest of them are awesome. Barbarians.
I know that was my thing. I didn't want to do.
Yeah, I know. The thing is, like the stunt work is awesome in that movie. We haven't talked about that. And Ruby Dawn, it still plays at work when I.
Yeah, I played it in the car.
Oh God. But yeah, it's. I mean, it's just budgetary restraints, right? Look, I like Conquest. I like the look of Conquest. I know there's Vaseline on the lens, but like it looks like a paperback novel half the time, man. It looks. I know, Charlie. You're just gonna have to plug your nose and bear with it. But
oh God.
No,
Conquest got a lot of votes for number 2. So
well, yeah, and plus, like, there's the snake lady and there's the freaking like mask man and all that is awesome.
Before Terrifier.
Yeah. And the best is Sword because I mean there's shots in there that look beautiful. And it's great that it's on 4K now. Like you pause anything there and make that your screensaver or something. It's awesome. Yeah, it looks great, and all the artistry of the special effects, makeup and stuff is excellent there too, and everything looks lived in and really really great. Like it doesn't have that sort of stage play quality to it. So
plastic feel. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So I'll tally those up. So yeah, it's not. We got some other. We got. See, another contender is starting to come up, right? Like other contenders are now coming up. I think I might do everyone who gets. I'm going to do all the votes for the 2. We'll talk about it when they're all done, and we'll see what the best.
All done. No, I'm telling you, just tally all the numbers everything gets from all of us. That'll give you your winners right there.
Right.
That's the best way to do it. Right at the end.
Okay. So next up is characters. I guess I'll start. Man. Yeah. This was tough, but for me the weakest was Sword and the Sorcerer. I just, talent is cool and all that. I like the characters for everybody. I like all the characters in all these movies. I just have to pick the least. And it's only because of the amount versus the quality. So Sword and the Sorcerer has a lot of different characters, but they're all okay. Right. So that's my weakest. My next one up is Hawk the Slayer. Hawk the Slayer has about the same number of characters as Sword, but I like the Hawk characters and his friends better. Like when the dwarf dies, I was like, oh shit, I like that guy. Like I like the elf, like he's cool. Like, so it's like, crap. Whereas in Sword and the Sorcerer's like, they die. That's what happens. Right. And next is Conquest because Mace to me is like super badass. He has nunchucks, man. Like what the hell? Okron is awesome. Like she makes the sun rise. It's like, oh my God, that's such a great plan. I'm going to, if civilization started over and I had all my memories, I'd be that guy. I am making the sun rise. Bow to me. Oh, okay. Shit. This guy's making the sunrise. I like all I like all that. And then number one is the Barbarians, man. It's the freaking Barbarian brothers. Listen, if you went in that time, you would instantaneously want to hang out with them because you're going to have a good time. It's like They're having a good time in the movie. I'm having a good time watching them have a good time, and I want to be with them having the good time with them. The two brothers, like, I don't know. To me, this is just like a masterpiece. The two of them, I literally think the two of them is a masterpiece. Like, they're so fun. I'm gonna arm wrestle this guy. Okay, you take him, and then it's like, oh shit, he's that huge guy in every Italian movie ever. I can't remember his name, but he's literally in every Italian movie ever made. And I'm like, oh, it's that guy, right? And you're like, this guy's enormous, and they're like, oh, okay, you take him. Switching the swords, or I want the axe, I want the sword. You know, like, you know, even at the end, the reins. Give me the reins. It's like, no, I'll take it. Like, and then the sister's in there, and she's cool too. I'm like, man, everybody in this movie's awesome. We got Richard Lynch in both movies, so I'm good. Like, I don't feel like I'm hurting him in any way. So I don't know. Barbarians, to me, the brothers like sell the whole damn thing. And I do like Mason Ilias together fighting Okron and her guys. So that's kind of my order. Let's go Charlie second. I don't think you were second.
I'm with you, man. This one's hard because there's great characters in all these movies. It's why they're in our top four. You know, it's why they're even in the contest to begin with. I'm on a trend here. Conquest is at the end. I didn't care for them as much. I think Mace gets introduced, and you're kind of like, oh, fuck, this is the guy I got to follow now. It's like I'm not really, you know. It throws you for a little bit. I like being introduced to who I'm supposed to follow. Boom, take the rest of the movie. Next is going to be Hawk. Great cast. I like them. I like all the characters. Like you said, I get mad when the dwarf dies. You know, does the sacrifice and everything. I love it. But I like Sword better than that one because while I don't know everyone's name, I get a sense of camaraderie between everyone under Talon. Everyone that's on Talon's side, I feel a brotherhood there. They sell it really well. Anytime you put the guy from Murphy Brown in it, and you know, I'm like, I'm with this guy. I'm totally there. But I enjoy it, and Talon is a huge part of it. And I like Talon as a lead better than Hawk, and you know, better than Mace in the other two. But how do you top Barbarians? It's perfectly cast. It's perfectly acted for the movie we're watching. Like, they're not winning Oscars, but this is exactly what I want. I want the Barbarian brothers being their characters with a supporting cast that does nothing but elevate them without, you know, hurting themselves. The sister is so fun. She's the girl next door. She's the kid sister. She doesn't turn into a love interest. I love it. You know, the people, the circus people are, I care about them. I get upset during the raid and everything. And Richard Lynch again, man. I mean, this guy is a great baddie. He's right there with Jack Palance. I mean, these are two of the better 80s villains growing up. So yeah, Barbarians is going to take the top slot for me on characters.
All right. Sean.
My least was Sword because who the hell is anyone? That's still my question about the Murphy Brown guy. I know that's cool, and that one captain that turns up at the end for no reason because I guess they forgot they had a contract or something. I don't know. Yeah, it's all cool, but like I don't really know. I like the camaraderie too, but I don't really know who any of them are. Conquest, I like that's my third. I like those two guys and one guy dies for the other. That's cool. And the bad guys are neat. They should have all been 3 3/4 inch figures, but
100%.
Yeah, no one's gonna market that movie for kids, right? So,
I will. Why not?
The second, I would say Hawk. It's built on characters. They just don't do a lot, you know. Right. But yeah, it's cool. I like them kibitzing and stuff with each other and all that. And the best for me was Barbarians. I like the sibling stuff with not just the two Barbarians but the girl as well, because like they tell the audience in the beginning who they all are, so it's no secret to us, but for some reason it is to them. And they don't even change the names when they're older, so you know that's the sister, right? But And I love that, like, it's just implied that they're sort of like it's a sister brother sort of relationship with all of them.
Yeah.
And the fighting and stuff, like, I want the whip now and all that. And
Mhm.
yeah, or they're kind of like busting each other's balls, like all of them, right? I love all that stuff. I revisit the movie for that, right? And the villain's awesome too. You know, like where the missing fingers is his downfall and everything. It's so awesome, man. So yeah, and the scheming witch, like Steve said this when we ranked this, it's way better than it really should be. So, but
No,
the
it's
characters
right.
are a big strength of this movie too. So,
Yeah.
yeah, Barbarians for character.
All right, Steve.
So this was hard because who's really a bad villain in any of these movies? Who's really a bad supporting character in any of these movies? There's very little. So I basically based it on how much I liked the lead character.
Perfect.
Because
Yep.
kind of feel that's the point of these movies anyway. So my worst was Hawk the Slayer. Hawk is fine. I just find him slightly uninteresting. I find that supporting characters are actually more interesting than him, and Jack Palance overshadows him. It is called Hawk the Slayer, and I feel like the best character in the movie is Jack Palance.
Right.
Second
Okay,
is probably,
yeah, fair.
probably the dwarf and the elf, like so, and the
Right.
giant. So, next is Sword and the Sorcerer. I like Talon. I like the characters, the camaraderie, all that stuff. I think this is actually Richard Lynch is better in this than he is in Barbarians. I like
I agree with that.
the demon. I like everyone. It's just I don't like them as much as the next two movie characters.
Fair.
But I have zero to complain about as far as characters go. Sword and Sorcerer. Second is Conquest. I really enjoy Mace and Iliad. I completely when I had the same reaction as Charlie, except a bit of the opposite, where I'm like, oh wait, I'm following this guy. But I liked his redemption arc, and I liked the fact that he actually had more growth than the character you thought was going to grow throughout the movie.
Yeah.
So I enjoyed that. And I really believed they were friends. I really believed they were compadres, and like they would die for each other, and that's hard in this sort of movie. And number one, probably not a shock, Barbarians. Like the two Barbarian brothers are awesome. I love the sister, but I mean, those two guys just make this entire movie. Like without their enthusiasm and without their just how they embraced it all wholeheartedly and made it their own and made you believe that they were these two goofy brothers, but you just want to see them do well. And when Richard Lynch actually like stabs him at the end when he has the knives and does that, like they look invincible. It's almost like a holy crap moment when you're like, oh my god, they are vulnerable. They can be hurt because, as Charlie said, they literally look like they're made from marble. They look indestructible. But they are totally being like the movie doesn't work without them acting the way they do, playing off the other characters the way they do. It's hands down to me, Barbarians.
Okay. Hungry Boy.
Okay, so fourth, which is least, for me would have to be Conquest because it is too surrealist, sploofy in regards to the characters. I think that these, I mean, for artistry, I've already said in the previous episodes we've done on this, I do like the surrealism aspect. I do like the fact that it's like a painting that is made into a movie. But if we're going to talk about character, that's not what character is about. And I don't think a lot of the dialogue really allowed us to get into the heads of the characters as best as we could. I think that for character definition, we need to be a bit more specific, which leads me to number 3, Sword and the Sorcerer, because at times, as much as I love this movie for other reasons, when it comes to character, it's I know it's Mr. Pion's first film, but it's trying very hard to mix Excalibur with what's going to be popular, with historical accuracy, using the name Cromwell, etc. And in terms of characters, I think I can enjoy everything as it's rocking and bopping along. but that doesn't mean in terms of character, I think it rates better than number 3 out of 4. So for second, I would go, because I am a D&D mongrel. Okay, that's me. I'm going to go for Hawk the Slayer because I think that they succeeded in everything they tried to do in setting up an implication of what a character is and then showing us what a character is. So, you know, we get the dwarf element, we get the elf element, even though it was really a Vulcan with a bow. I'm going to ignore that. Yeah, exactly. It was a Vulcan with a bow, but it was still an elf. And we had the giant, and we had a bunch of character elements there. I really felt it was like some people complain about a stage play that was made into a movie, but that's what character is about. A stage play relies on character to drive the plot. So that's fine. And first, and I never thought I'd ever say this in my sweet life, Barbarians for character. Barbarians for a lot of reasons, as all of you have said, regarding the two main characters, but also little Miss Chicky Poo, who is the main female in the film, is so delightful. She is so engaging. Every time you see her, you want her to succeed at things. She's like a 19-year-old dressed in leather female Indiana Jones. You just want her to get everything right. You love everything about this character, and you also love the other female characters it's like the opposite to the Bloody Carradine film. You know what I mean? The women in this show, in this movie, actually have a reason to be on stage, be on screen. Versus the Carradine women were just like, are we going to get paid?
Show us the money.
Exactly.
They needed the G-string to put the dollar bills in.
Right.
I didn't laughing too hard.
Not it,
So
yeah.
For character, I've got to actually go with the Barbarians. I have to.
All right.
Fair.
Okay. We're down to the last category, enjoyment. So this is just whatever you liked. That's it in order. I'm quite, just because I have the, stats in front of me here. I already know what Steven's going to say is the worst. I definitely know what Charlie's going to say is the worst. I'm pretty sure. Who else do I got? Sean. See, Sean, I have no idea what he's going to say is least 0. Because Sean is like all over the place. I'm pretty all over the place too. I think the thing is that I actually, okay, there's a couple of, I don't want to say the H word, but there's a Hawk hater amongst us. There's a Conquest hater. I'm not going to mention any names, Charlie. I'm not going to mention any names. And there's also a Hawk lover, which we know who that is. So it's basically like Sean and I are going to be the same. we're trying to rein in all these guys, all these personalities. Like,
You are
Hawk the Slayer ain't that bad. Come on, no. All right. Okay, so let's start with Charlie, because I pretty much know his order already. While you were talking on the last one, I typed your order out just to see if I guessed.
Oh, okay.
And I did guess. So
let's see.
I'm not gonna look. I know exactly. I know exactly what your order is going to be, but I'm going to let you.
All right. Well, let's see.
What is your least favorite, Charlie?
God,
what could
this
it
is
possibly
so hard. Conquest number 4.
Oh man. Okay, hold on. Do I have anything? Let me see if I have something for that here. Oh, hold on.
I can cheat and say I really wanted Deathstalker to win, so now you can play Deathstalker 2.
Oh, okay. You said Deathstalker 2, so I have to play that then. Yeah, that's one thing I have to play.
I'll have my revenge, and Deathstalker 2.
I'm getting my revenge for not being here to defend Deathstalker that night as good as I should have been.
What did Deathstalker lose against?
Conquest.
Oh, yeah. Oh
That
man,
was the
no,
night I
come
wanted to
on,
hear.
man. You wouldn't have won that one. I'm like, I would have. I like Deathstalker. I have him on VHS, and
I feel
on,
like I could have swayed someone. I feel like I could have given it more of a fighting chance. But
Deathstalker himself is kind of an a-hole. That's the problem.
Yeah.
Deathstalker.
I couldn't get with
Deathstalker.
it.
No, the guy in part 2 is super fun. Part 2, you should all need to watch Deathstalker 2.
Part 2 is the
Yeah.
best. I
Yeah.
won't deny that. Yeah.
Yeah, it's super fun.
Four's
Okay.
awesome, but yeah.
All right, next one. I know what he's going to say, but go for it.
Hawk the Slayer.
What? Oh, I'm the winner. Yeah.
And that hurts because I really love watching Hawk the Slayer. It's so much fun. I almost weekly yell out "Silly String of Doom" for some reason. Actually, I did. My wife and I went to Target Monday or something like that, and they had in the dollar aisle "Silly String." So I grabbed one and went "Silly String of Doom" and chased her around the store with it. This one's harder.
I got my guess for you. Let's see.
Barbarians is next.
I failed. I failed the city. Uh-oh, hold on. I gotta play a fail. Do I have a fail? Okay, here I'll hold on, let me see. I've got to have a fail one. Oh, here we go. I'll give myself this one.
Garbage day. Huh? No.
You had to use that movie.
I love that movie.
This was difficult, but I had to go off of I would watch either movie. I would watch either movie anytime. There's something about Sword and the Sorcerer that I just get so freaking amped up when I watch that movie. I love the hero's journey with that. Talon to me is the better of almost all of the characters. The Barbarian brothers are the better characters, but if it was only one of those guys, it wouldn't have the effect without the other brother. So Talon has a lot of ability to carry that movie really, with Richard Lynch as a good bad guy in it and a lot of other supporting cast, even though, yes, you don't really know their names, but I get the emotion from it. I get the feeling from it. And I want to get it on the 4K release because I want to see a better cut of it. But it's just something about it, man. Like I could turn it on right now, watch it, and be just as amped up, watching that movie. It was just so much fun and enjoyment. And that's what this is. It's enjoyment.
Yep.
And I
No,
enjoy
for sure.
Sorcerer. Yep.
Let me point out something about the 4K that I should point out for the quality people. There is audio. It's not audio mistakes. They restored the restored audio, and then they did a mix of it. When you play the movie, it actually tells you that even though we did this proper surround sound mixing, it says they prefer the stereo mix more because that was more of the way it was actually supposed to work out. Like they kind of faked, like they faked up a thing, like, they faked it surround or whatever. Like it's still surround. Like you could set your speakers to where it's the same on the side. Like my 4K is set up that way. I can't figure out how to unset my 4K to not replicate the speakers. So sometimes like I have people talking behind me on 4K. Now, if you play it on Blu-ray, that's my proper sound. Right. But anyways, just so in case that's like factor for people, it does say that right when you put the disc in, it says, even though we did this, we recommend you watch the other version, like the other version. So whatever.
That just makes sense. I mean, I won't fault a movie for that. Yeah.
Yeah. It doesn't bother me in the slightest. Like I'm just saying it for the people because I don't like saying you should get the 4K and then someone's gonna be like, well, Jay, man, fucking you didn't tell me that. Okay, I'm just telling I'm highly recommending the 4K because it's amazing for the content too. Albert Pionn, he does a whole long interview and then he does the commentary. And it's really sad watching it, like because of what he's saying, and he's like, oh, I have dementia, so I don't remember all the things. There's a guy there helping him out with the commentary, which is really good. And
it's like watching the Al Leong, the henchman, where he's got the brain damage and stuff, and he's trying to get through the interview. Breaks my heart. I love watching it, but breaks my heart.
Yeah, I did. Yeah, no.
Yeah, Benny Sean's wearing a Godzilla shirt.
It's Ghidra the three-headed monster. Oh no, it's Monster Island.
No, it's Ghidra the three-headed monster.
Yep.
No, it's not. Guy Gann's not in that.
All right, Sean. I love
Oh no,
you.
it's Gigan. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, that's what I'm telling you. That ain't no Get to the Three-Headed Monster. Oh man,
Kaiju
yeah, Gigan's not in
man.
that movie.
Ooh.
Gigan's only in 2 movies, so it's either Megalon
Yeah, I
or
saw Eurus, and I was like, oh shit, okay.
Yeah, and Anguirus is not. Anguirus, I don't even think Anguirus is in Get to the Three-Headed Monster either.
No, so it's Monster Island.
It's
or
Monster.
something.
Well, I call it Monster Island. It's Godzilla versus Gigan.
Yeah.
I mean, technically, Gigan is in 3 movies because he's in Final Wars.
Yeah, that's true. I meant
Yeah.
I meant
chainsaw.
the Showa era Gigan.
Yeah.
Which is, yeah. The eras that matter. Yes.
Yes, but I've got the Final Wars Gigan big one behind me. You can't see him. He's right there somewhere. The big fight with the saws.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's a good one.
Yeah.
Alrighty. Okay, Hungry Boy, this is just enjoyment, so just tell me your favorites, your least favorite to your favorite. So
Okay, going from fourth to first. Obviously, you knew this was coming. Conquest, because even though we have one of the best witches in fantasy, sci-fi, surrealism, horror, etc., it's not a real. The rest of the characters are just not fleshed out for me. It's surrealism versus an actual movie, and that leads us to number 2. It's a tie for me between 2 and 3. Okay, Barbarians, and also tied with Sword and Sorcerer, because Sword and the Sorcerer actually had to rush a lot of things to get things done in the amount of screen time. And I accept that. And I love the film. You guys have heard me wax enthusiastic about it. With Barbarians, I love witch characters and sorceress characters. And I think they actually had the best out of all of these films. I think they had the best sorceress character, but I think that we got cheated on her death. We should have seen her being sucked up into that tube worm into the swamp. I don't like the fact we didn't see it, and then they just go into the belly of the beast, and they find her going, inside the creature. I thought we were a bit cheated there. Now, number 1, I always say, I'm always honest, I'm a D&D horror. It's Hawk the Slayer. I love what they did defining a dwarf personality, a giant personality, a elf personality, and Hawk himself. He may have been a bit boring, but he let the other characters shine, and we had Palance chewing the scenery like a T-Rex in the original Jurassic Park film. Okay, so he was just chewing it up. It was delightful. And we also had a whispery little witch played by the woman who played Magenta in Rocky Horror Picture Show.
Yes.
And so that, for enjoyment and characterization, that added a lot to me, because she was sort of sitting there saying, I'm going to take this seriously, even if you buggers don't. Right. She took it very seriously, and I love my witch characters. So Hawk will take first place in enjoyment for me. And I know you guys don't like the fact they keep going back to the tavern scenes and munching together, etc.
I like the tavern scenes. I'm just going on record. I like those.
You're like Chevy Chase and Three Amigos. I'd like to continue to work for free, Mr. Flugel.
I like it. It was fun. I'm the one that pointed out they had an entire battle in the tavern area. They fought
because they never left. They never left. It was the only way they were gonna.
But it's so comfy, dude. I mean, if I was there, I wouldn't want to leave. Right. Look at the food that was being brought to the dwarf. That looked like a delicious little turkey. That was delicious.
Now I'm hungry. Now I'm actually hungry.
Now you're hungry. I like how he painted us a perfect picture. All I can see is a banner that says Hawk the Slayer with Jack Palance yelling behind it, doing the T-Rex from Jurassic Park.
All right. Okay, let's go Steve next, because I know. Let me predict Steve's order first.
Okay.
Steve is doing his Lex Luthor finger thing again.
Yeah, he's doing his Lex Luthor. All right. Well, Steve, let's hear your order. So Hawk the Slayer is the worst, obviously.
Yeah, Hawk the Slayer is my least favorite. It has some good-natured conversations, but damn, it takes so long to get to that final battle. I didn't think we'd get there. It does have some. I like the conversations between the giant and the dwarf, and I like that the dwarf fools the giant and all that. I didn't think we needed to see it a lot. I didn't think we needed to see all three quests because I didn't really get a lot from them. I got some. It's not a complete loss. Jack Palance choose the scenery. Absolutely agree. It is weird that he is only 3 years younger than the guy playing his father, but okay, fine. That's what it is. I mean, it's not a terrible film, and I don't dislike it at all. It's just if you're asking me which one of these four I enjoy, this one I would probably say I would pop in the least.
All right.
Next is Sword and the Sorcerer. I equate watching Sword and the Sorcerer to having a very not a long conversation, but having a conversation with a very good-natured drunk person, where basically their enthusiasm carries you through, but you have zero idea what they're talking about. And this is
okay. I like that analogy. I'll give you a Tiffany epiphany for that one. Where is it?
I just had a Tiffany epiphany.
If I was drinking, I'd take offense to that, Steven, but I'm just drinking, flavored water, so we're good.
I've got my.
Yeah, I got my ice. It's all good. It's black raspberry.
Yeah, and there's nothing. The only problem with having a conversation with a drunk person is you're not drunk too, so you don't know what they're talking about, and you sort of feel jealous. You're like, if I was drunk too, maybe I'd understand what they're talking about. But the movie.
So it's like Stefan. It's like you're talking about horror and science fiction and fantasy with a drunk hot chick. Is that what you're saying?
Yes, that's exactly right. And the thing is that because the characters are so good natured and enthusiastic, and willing to take you on this awesome ride, you're okay with it, even though like when you come out at the end, like God help you, you're trying to get directions on how to get somewhere from this person because they're not helping you. And the movie gets there, but you're not quite sure how you got there, and you're not sure if you're wearing pants by the time you get there.
You just
That's a good time in my book.
I got engaged, man. Thanks a lot.
It's all the reasons this is the greatest movie ever, Steven. Damn it, man.
Number 2 is Conquest. I agree that the fog. I've already talked about the fog, but you know what? I so buy into those two characters that I'm willing to forgive a lot. I love the bow and arrows and all that stuff that J-Man's showing. I really did feel the connection between the two characters, and for me to feel that is exceptionally rare. Like in movies nowadays, it literally feels like two paid performers who are trying to pretend that they have a pre-existing relationship. So for this one, it's Conquest, and not a shock. Barbarians blew me out of the water when I saw it. I was completely stunned with how good it was. There wasn't a single moment in Barbarians I disliked. There's not a single moment.
This is crazy. I know what my favorite is. Let's see what Sean said. I'll go last. Right now, it's like Barbarians has a vote, Sword and Sorcerer has a vote, and Hawk the Slayer has a vote. Sean, what's your order?
Okay, so this is the hardest. Still up there. I've been welcome, right? So, enjoyment. The least one would be Conquest. I'm going by what I would pop into the player the most, right?
Yeah.
I love Conquest. I mean, when we ranked them, I said I'd pop this in more than Deathstalker, right? So, and I have. So, the third would be Hawk the Slayer. Yeah, it's cool. I mean, once you know where it's going, then you don't really want to watch it again for a while. It's that kind of thing, right? It's awesome, but like, I mean, the surprises are sort of like lost on you until you forget them.
Right.
You know, watching it. Second is Sword of the Sorcerer. It looks awesome. It's you know, like it looks. I love the color and everything like that. So, and I like the action and all that stuff. And Barbarians is the most enjoyment for me.
Wow. So Barbarians has
50 votes. No.
Wow. All right. So this is crazy. Okay, so my least favorite, and I like all these movies, but the one that I would watch the least, and that's only because again I know where it's going, which is Hawk the Slayer. I've got nothing against it. I like it. I was
you heathen. You heathen.
I hate that heathen. All that. The next one is The Sword and the Sorcerer, and I've watched it like 4 times since we streamed about it. So like, I mean, like, does that sound like something you're not? That's my third favorite, right?
Still a heathen.
Yeah, I'm a heathen. I love Sword and the Sorcerer. It's awesome. Got the poster, right? Soundtrack. If I buy the theatrical poster and the soundtrack, then you know I'm in. Now, Hawk the Slayer, I bought the soundtrack, not the poster, so you know that, okay, he's not fully in.
Oh, yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Next one is Barbarians. Man, that movie's just so awesome. I want the soundtrack. You can't get it anywhere. You can't find I found a French poster online, which I really want, which I might actually get. And my favorite is Conquest. It's always been Conquest. I don't care. I don't care. I'll be alone. I'll be alone. I'll be like Lee J. Cobb in 12 Angry Men. I don't care if I'm alone. It's my right.
Conquest. Look, I'm starring in Conquest right now.
I know. Well, listen, if you were in Conquest, then that'd be awesome. All right, I'm giving you the arrow again. I'm giving Charlie the arrow. It's like that's it. That's it. I love the sound. I've listened to the soundtrack. Like I had it on. I've had it on repeat like for about 8 hours one time. Like I had it on 8 hours repeat at work. It actually inspired me to like do stuff. It gets me like if I'm writing a D&D adventure, it inspires me to write it. So it's a personal connection to Conquest. Sean knows that I wanted it when the story when he found it. I was like, oh, I need to have it. I think Sean had it on VHS when we watched it, and I was right after we finished. I was so jealous that I didn't have it. I don't really get jealous because I'm like because you can't find it. It's not like I'll pay anything. Like I would have paid $100 for the VHS, but it wasn't around. So he let me record it. I recorded it from his VHS to a DVD. I've got the poster coming in. I'm going to probably frame it. I've got one of the playbill style poster with the little thing around the top. Yeah. I love Conquest. I don't know. There's not. It just feels like this is the kind of thing that I would want to do, minus all the fog.
Sean. No, sorry, J-Man. Can I ask you a question here?
Sure. The answer is 42. No, I don't know.
Is it not true that you are a horror writer?
I'm everything. I've got a character for everything. So, like, Sean, Steven, and I all had like a kind of like one of those pulp-ish style magazines where we each contributed a story.
Oh,
and
fantastic.
we were publishing those. We did like 7 issues or 8 issues or something. And then we branched off. So Steve's written his books. I've written mine. Sean's working on his stuff. So we kind of, but I did radio shows on my channel. I did a radio show like the old like Shadows and Blue Beetles. I've done that. I've done fantasy. I've done horror. I've done like superhero stuff. So I like everything. It's tough. I like it all. But yeah, I do love horror.
Okay, so you're gonna forgive me for conniving into you plugging yourself and what you've done on your own channel, right? I'm sorry, sometimes I'm just a little bit Paul Lind. What can I say?
I'll give you the Angelina smile for that one. Thank you.
That was a really good impression, Hungry. I gotta give you that.
That's good. Yeah. All right. So if I just rank all the number ones, we've got Conquest. Barbarians got 3, 8. So that's 14. It has 16. So Barbarians has 10, 13, 14, 15, has 16 votes for number one category. So amongst the 5 of us in the 5 categories, it basically has 16 out of a possible 25. Let's say if that's if that's the maximum you can have.
Right.
Conquest has only 1 vote for number 1 spot. That's by me. You're welcome, Conquest. Hawk the Slayer for number 1 has 2 number 1 votes. And the Sword and the Sorcerer has
to have 7.
6.
6, sorry.
6.
Yeah.
So
that makes sense.
Yeah. Right, because we're subtracting, right?
Right,
So 6, 7, 8, 9, 19, 20. Yeah, that's right. It has to equal 25. Right. Yeah. So Barbarians and Sword are have the most votes. So do we just say that's the final 2 and we're done, or do you want to go?
I think what Steve was saying, because if we're gonna pit them against each other, it's the same exact categories, and we've already given our votes.
Yeah.
Right. No, I know. So it's like I know, but nobody's
we were
gonna
ranking
remember
them all against each other. Those 2 included.
Yeah. So I mean, the winner is Barbarians because it's got the most votes, right? Yeah. So the winner's Barbarians, anyways.
Yeah.
I know. I thought of that before. That's what I was going to say by categories, like versus by number of votes. Because Barbarians, I don't think won every category.
No,
so
it didn't.
Let me. It won. Right. It won this one.
I won.
Sword and the Sorcerer won this one. While Barbarians, the problem is the enjoyment. Everything got a vote.
So here's the other way I was thinking about doing it. So say you've got story, and I give my 4. We'll just do it like that. So whatever I gave the bottom, that's 1 point. Whatever I gave the second, that's 2 points. So it's a little bit more adding you have to do, but what you'll do is you'll get an overall number for each movie. So that will tell you exactly where it ranks, because 3 of us may have loved one movie more than another in one category.
I got you.
So
I got you.
A little bit more math, but I think that's going to be the most accurate across the board.
Okay.
They call the power of the aggregate. Yes.
Yeah. All right. So so let me see this here. So basically, I'll do Conquest. I'll do Barbarians. I'll do Sword. I should have done this on Excel. I did it on Notepad, but that's okay. And I'll do Conquest, Barbarian, Sword, and Hawk. And I'll say I got you. So Steve. So the worst one gets 1 and the top one gets 4. Okay, I got you.
Yeah. So 1, 2, 3, 4.
So maybe this I'll do on Excel. Hold on. Let me get Excel open.
We'll go.
Let me get Excel open. This will be better on Excel.
No worries. We're good.
All right. My God, we need an Excel spreadsheet for this. This is insane.
That's what happens when we try new stuff.
Yes.
But otherwise, you're right. We would just be repeating ourselves over and over again, which is what happened.
This makes better sense, Charlie.
I like this one.
Better sense. This is
I like
what you're saying. All right.
And it is more accurate, Charlie.
And then if it's a landslide, it's a landslide.
Right.
You know, then we'll know for sure.
Right. Okay. So I'm going to do Conquest, Barbarians, Sword, Hawk. All right. So roll 1, we've got so Conquest, Hawk. Hawk has 4. Conquest has 1. And Barbarians, has nothing. And Sword has nothing. So that's doing it by rows, so I'll have to add them all up afterwards. So that's 1, Oh, that's gonna take me. That's gonna take me. It might take me a little bit
That's all right.
because I used all abbreviations, so now I got to remember my abbreviations. All right, I'll put up a. All right, so okay, let me think about this now. Hog the Slayer has 4 points. Conquest has 1 point. Okay. And Sword has 2 points. Conquest has 2 points. 4 points. Sword's got another 2, so that's 4. And another 2, 6. Oh, okay. That makes more sense. Conquest should have 4. Slayer.
So everything should come to 10 points then per person. Right.
Yeah, so 3.
Yeah.
So Hawk the Slayer has 3. Sword has 6. This has.
So that's 250 points.
That's a lot. That's a lot to add. That's a lot to add up. 4.
I didn't know how many. I just went for accuracy. That's all.
Barbarians has.
Oh.
All right, 20. Okay, so I got it now. So 8, 9. So I'm going to do 9, 20, 12, 7. Okay. So that story is done. Okay, so for example, story, Barbarians got 20.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry, Steve. Sorry. Steve, you gave, so what's the total for each person?
Each person should come to 10 points per category.
Thing. So it should be 50 points total?
Yeah.
All right, so let me do it by person. That'll be better. Yeah, this will be better. Okay, I got it now. Conquest gets 1. Are you sure it should be? Yeah, because
it's 4, 3, 2, 1 comes to 10.
It's 10.
Right. Okay.
And
So
then
somewhere
5
along.
people per category is 50.
Yeah. Okay. Sean, Charlie, Henry. All right. I just want to get my Excel sheet good. Okay. So, Steve, you've given Barbarians 20. You gave it 25.
25. Yeah.
Yeah. Right. 5. No, it's 4.
No,
it's 4. It's 20.
It's 20. Yeah, it's 20. Yeah.
20. Then you gave Hawk a 3 for that section, and I'll add them as I go. Sword and the Sorcerer, you gave 6. And then Conquest, you gave 6. Sorry. 3 and 3 is 6. 3 and 3 is 6. Yeah. Conquest, you gave 6. And then Sword and the Sorcerer gets 2 again. So that's 8. 9, 10, 11, 12, so 12. Conquest gets another 4. Conquest should have 10. Then Hawk gets 4, so that's 7. And Conquest gets another one, 11. Let me see if that adds up. And that adds up. I did it correctly. Yep, that adds up. Okay, that makes sense. I understand how to do it now. All right, so just okay. So Sean, you gave Barbarians 4 times 4 is 16. You gave Sword and the Sorcerer a 4. And then you gave Hawk 4. No, you gave Hawk a 3.
Yeah.
And then another 3, so 6. I have to put my finger to the screen because it's like.
Yeah.
And then. Yeah, Sword you gave 8. Yeah, I might just have to add it on its own. Okay, so Sword and Sorcerer gets 1 plus. I'm just going to make them all formulas. I got to make them all formulas. I'll have to.
Yeah.
Sword gets 1 plus 3 plus 4 plus 3. All right, so I got 1 plus 3 plus 4 plus 1 plus 3. Oh. Barbarians got 4 plus 4 plus 4 plus 4. That's easy. From the Sorcerer, I already did that one. Hawk the Slayer gets plus 3 plus 2 plus 1 plus 3 plus 2. Okay, and Conquest, that's plus 2 plus 1 plus 3 plus 2 plus 1. I sound like, what's his name in what's it called? What was that movie called? Clue, where he's counting the guns. 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus 1.
Yes.
Nice.
Yep.
All right, Conquest. So Charlie Okay, so Charlie Conquest.
Charlie's easy for Conquest.
Yeah, he got Conquest. He just gave it 5 points because 1 for each.
I'm
Barbarians,
doing my part to make things easy.
plus 3 plus 4 plus 3 plus 4 plus 3. Yep, that makes sense. Sword and the Sorcerer, plus 4 plus 2 plus 4 plus 3 plus 4. Yep. Hawk the Slayer, plus 2 plus 3 plus 2 plus 2 plus 2. Does that add up? Yep, that's good. I think I have to redo Sean's because his didn't add up, so I missed something there. So
There you go, Sean.
plus 2 plus 1 plus 3 plus 2 plus 1. Yeah, that was right. Okay.
At least with
Barbarians.
Charlie, we
Plus
didn't
4
have
plus
to
4 plus 4
worry
plus
about
4.
any- Sorry.
Oh, what
Sword
was
and the
that, Henry?
Sorcerer, plus 1 plus 3 plus 4 plus 1 plus 3. Okay, and then Hawk the Slayer. We're almost done. Hawk the Slayer is
you're
plus 3 plus 2 plus 1 plus 3 plus 2. How come I'm getting 48 again? I don't. Why am I missing something with Sean's here?
2, you're missing 2.
I'm missing 2 points. Yeah, mine was correct, and Charlie's was correct. Why? Okay, Sean. Okay, okay, Conquest plus 2.
Right.
2 plus 1 plus 3 plus 2 plus 1. Yeah, that's correct. Barbarians plus 4 plus 4 plus 4 plus 4. 16. Yeah.
But you're missing, you only have 4 categories there.
Oh, 7. Okay, that's where I missed the other one.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, that's good. That's good. That's good. I got it now. Yeah, okay. Sword. Okay. Plus 1 plus 3 plus 4 plus 1 plus. Last one. Hawk the Slayer. Okay. Plus 3 plus 2 plus 1 plus 3 plus 2. There we go. Now it's working out. I can't see you guys if you're making fun of me. That's fine.
No, we're not making
Conquest,
fun of you.
plus 1
We're not
plus
making fun
1
of you.
plus 3 plus
Hungry
1
said
plus 1.
something on chat.
Barbarians plus 2 plus 4 plus 1 plus 4 plus 2. Okay. Sword and the Sorcerer plus 3 plus 3 plus 4 plus 2 plus 3. And Hawk the Slayer is plus 4 plus 2 plus 2 plus 3 plus 4. All right. J-Man. That makes sense. It does. Okay. One last one, guys, and then we're done with the math. Conquest plus 3 plus 3 plus 3 plus 3 plus 4. Yeah, I'm giving it to Conquest. Nice. Barbarians plus 4 plus 4 plus 2 plus 4 plus 3. Sword and the Sorcerer plus 1 plus 1 plus 4 plus 1 plus 2. See, Sean and I is the hardest because our order is all over the place.
Way to go, Sean.
No. Troublemaker.
Yeah.
Yep. Okay.
All
Done.
just put Conquest at the bottom. It was so easy.
I got them all. All right. Okay. And I'm getting the sums for all of them. Wow. Okay. Oh, this is. Oh, I really like this. This is good. This is a good idea, Charlie.
This would have went good if we had known this. You could have been filling in the tallies as you went.
Right.
Yeah.
I'll make an Excel spreadsheet as we do it. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So I've got them all.
Vaseline.
All right. Save. Okay. So does everyone want to know let's take a look at the tallies here.
Let's see the tallies.
So a Conquest got 48 points. Do I need to read the private chat? What were we looking at?
We're not trying to distract you. We're fine.
Math is hard. No, I know I do math in my job, but the second my job ends, I shut down. It's like it's over. All right. Conquest got 48 points.
Okay.
For the lowest. So that's the lowest. Hawk the Slayer got 52 points. So that's the lowest. That's the second lowest. Next was the Sword and the Sorcerer with 65 points.
Yay.
So that's pretty good.
That's pretty good.
And the Barbarians got 85 points.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's a slaughter. That's a slaughter.
That's a landslide, fellas.
Yeah.
Okay, so so because we did it this way, the final two are Barbarians and the Sword and the Sorcerer.
Right.
Yeah.
Do you want to do the actual verses on it, or do you want to do something else, or do you want to just declare Barbarians as the winner anyways?
I mean, that's a tough one. I feel like we're just going to end up repeating everything we've already said here.
Yeah.
Especially on their time. Now we've said it on this side. Even though I was a flip, I ended up putting Sorcerer above Barbarians, but I'm talking margin fraction.
Yeah.
Is everyone okay with, like, I'm okay with just calling it, that's it. And then for the next time we do one of the, because we're doing the 80s fantasy women's division. If we like this, it sounds like, Shooter, I'm good with saying Barbarians is the actual final winner, and I might even retool the way we do these verses to do it this way. Like first we do like 3 streams. Stream 1, the qualifier, not 3 streams, I'm sorry. It'd be 1, 2, 3, 4,
3 types of 5. 3 types of streams.
Right. Yeah. So first stream was the qualifiers.
Yeah.
We picked the qualifying ones. Next is the 4 verses.
Mm-hmm.
And then the last one is the final 4 round robin, the way we just did it. What do you guys think about that?
I like this. I really do. I'm totally, because otherwise
this was very clean, very clear cut. And when you actually punched in all those numbers, I mean, let's face it, Barbarians came out the clear winner. There is no way to say that this film, even though I did not think it would,
right?
Okay, when I rewatched it, I mean, it deserves to win this. It really does.
And the genius part of Charlie's suggestion is we could have had a tie and needed that last stream to really hash it out.
Yeah, there's nothing stopping a tie doing it this way.
Yeah.
It could have balanced out any way across it to where 2 could have ended up with, say, 70 points.
Yeah.
Right. So let's say, okay, so for example, Hawk was 52, Sword was 65. Maybe that's a final 2. Like, I mean, that would be another stream because they're so close. Or do you think that's like, let's say
that would depend on, did we all vote the same way that made it get there anyway?
Yeah.
You know, were we all on the same page as far as how we voted? I think that there's no getting around, the numbers are telling you the truth.
Yeah. In this case,
I agree.
In this case, Barbarians clear, like no one's going to make up, like Sword and the Sorcerers, we're not going to get enough points to make it up.
You're never going to get it out. So what we would end up having to come up with for later, and only as a contingency plan, is if we did hit a tiebreaker, instead of say like a whole nother stream, we come up with like a wild card category of, you know, how would we break this tie? And
you know what I would say? I would say enjoyment.
Has to be.
Enjoyment's the final one, because which one do you like more? Like, and that, if it came down, so we wouldn't do another stream for that. We would just do it within the stream. we would just say if the numbers were so close or a tie, like if it's 1 point different, like if it was 51 points to 52 points, I could say, okay, guys, which one is it? Because that 1 point is not enough to give it a win. Barbarians is 20 points more.
Right.
So but if Barbarians wasn't in this, like if it was Conquest and Hawk the Slayer, that was 48 and 52.
That would need to have.
That's pretty close.
Yeah.
Because I would for sure say Conquest is better. Like, you know what I mean? Like then we could go by enjoyment factor and say, okay, you know, because I think Conquest for sure is better, even though it was in the last of this thing. Okay, so I think we're good there. So I'm gonna redo my template for the versus things, and I might put all the qualifiers at the top, right? So I didn't have a graphic ready because this was the first time we've done it in a different way, and I really like this a lot.
I love this.
This is way better. So that's a good
doesn't lie at all. I mean, this is, and it gives people while a lot of times you tell someone we like a movie, now they have a visual representation of, oh shit, they really like this movie. And if they've never seen Barbarians and they go, it won by that many, I got to watch this movie now.
Yeah.
So,
I agree.
Yeah. So I'm going to fix up this graphic to, you know, and make it a template. And I'll put like the qualifiers, and then I'll put the matches, and then the final four, and then just the winner. And that's it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, you know, so I'll move this top row. I'll move it down, you know what I mean? And put the qualifiers up at the top or whatever. So I'll make it look better.
Oh yeah.
And then that'll be going forward. So we should do this for all of these kinds of tournaments. We just do the one qualifying thing, then your 4 matches, and then 6 streams total.
Well, you know what this would work really well, J-Man, would be a face-off match with all the folklore horror that's gone on since 1973 up until now. So I think this new format that you with Charlie have come up with would be excellent for that, because otherwise it could go on forever ad infinitum.
Yeah, so the next one we're going to do is the 80s fantasy versus female. So like, you know, Barbarian Queen, Red Sonja, like Hundra, She, right? All those. So we're going to do that next. That qualifying stream will probably be not too long, because I don't think there's a lot of ones to really go through.
No.
Right. So I really like this a lot. I've saved this, and I'm going to make I'm going to just do it on Excel, and I'm just going to do it because I've been doing it on Notepad, because it's just been very informal. I'm just going to do the whole thing on Excel, and I'll just add tabs per stream and be like that.
And this way, as you're going, when we're in the final, you're just you hit total, and at the end, boom, you've got it.
It's got it. Yeah.
So yep.
Yeah, it'll be way easier that way to align the points and me trying to do it at the end or whatever. But yeah. Okay, guys. Well, yeah, the Barbarians. Look, you know, the Barbarians was awesome. I saw it once when I was a little kid, and then I rewatched it again, and I thought, wow. Like, I just thought it was so awesome. And Hawk the Slayer I already owned and knew about it and watched it a few times. And Conquest I watched it a bunch of times. And Sword the Sorcerer I watched a bunch of times. I have the poster. Like, I was like, okay, I love but Barbarians came out, and I was like, is this my favorite movie out of all? I'm like, what happened here? And it just came out of nowhere for me, and I just got super pumped. You saw I made the little characters.
We said it in the first one we did.
Yeah.
Like, we were talking like, is this going to win?
Yeah.
Because we all had this preconceived notion of the other movies, but when Barbarians came on and we all really started, and you realized everyone else was feeling the same way, though. You're like,
yeah,
oh, shit, this really is like, take out Conan, take out all the big name Beastmasters, Barbarians right there. Like, seriously.
Well, except for me, I only rewatched it last night, but it totally changed my opinion seeing it, you know, bloody half a century in age.
Right.
The first time I saw it, I was only in my early 20s, right? So there's like decades of difference seeing it the first time to the second time. Right. And I just looked at it and I thought, wow, there's so much charm and so much love put into this movie, and
Yeah.
everybody seems to be into it. Like every single performer seems to be enjoying what they're doing in this film.
Absolutely.
Versus the David Carradine one.
Right.
Hungry in 1987, it's just okay. But in 2023, I mean, what's it competing against, right? Like you watch like the latest Hollywood like schlocky $200 million blockbuster, and you're like, and you watch like Barbarians, and you, as you said, there's a lot of charm and heart to it that you just don't see anymore.
I think people sometimes too think that I'm like, well, that we're joking or that I'm joking when I talk. I'm like, oh no, I love this movie. I'm like, no, it's better than whatever you're like. It's like, what did you just watch? It's like, oh, I just saw, I don't know what, pick any of the trashy Marvel movies, but even other stuff. Like someone watches something and they're like, oh, you got to watch this thing. I'm like, I doubt it's that good. And, no, it's really good. It's like, are you sure? I don't know.
Look, shameless plug for my son.
Could I agree with Sean for a moment and equate it to comic books?
Sure.
Okay, so like there's stuff in 1987 we thought were really crap comic books, but compared to what's coming out today, I mean, you look at how much people, even if they were under the gun from Shooter with deadlines, etc., with 87 comic books, or DC comic books, etc., you can see the fact that, oh, I love to be working in comic books. I'm really glad to be drawing this. Versus what we're getting today, which is I just want to leg up into like Netflix. And what I feel with the Barbarians is that those people working in the mid 80s to late 80s comic books, where they were just so glad to have a job and they loved the medium and the genre itself that they were working in, and it shows through. So that like their enjoyment of working on the project led to my giving, the enjoyment basis for Barbarians such a big rating in today's ratings that you had on your show, J-Man.
Yeah.
Charlie, you're gonna say?
I was just gonna say. I mean, it's shameless plug time, but movies like Barbarian and even all these that are in this thing is why I do give me back my action and horror movies. I want the feeling of watching these movies that I grew up with now. Like I shouldn't have to go back to them, because I should have awesome movies, but I give me back that feeling that these movies invoked, and because I can go and watch them again and still get amped up. I can watch Sword and the Sorcerer and get more amped up at that than any Marvel movie that's out there right now.
Right on, Charlie. Do you miss a tough Nick Fury?
I do miss a tough Nick Fury. He started out as such a badass. Give me back David Hasselhoff, damn it. I want David Hasselhoff.
I liked that one. I watched it. I taped it off TV and I have it on. I still have the VHS tape.
I love that one. Yep. I used to watch that and then Barbed Wire almost all the time, back to back.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Did you realize that Barbed Wire is Casablanca?
No, as a kid, I didn't really watch Casablanca as a kid.
That's.
I mean, I've seen it, but as a kid, I never really watched.
Oh, I was gonna say, it's a remake. It's a remake of it. Okay, I've got the complete card set of Barbed Wire. I have the theatrical original poster. I've got the soundtrack. So I loved it. Soundtrack, poster, right?
Yep.
Collector cards, trading cards, whatever.
It was something about the people from Baywatch. Well, David Hasselhoff's always my Knight Rider, but seeing everyone from Baywatch being in like action movies, I was like, yes, please, yes.
I loved Barbed Wire. I got the soundtrack. I watched it a bunch of times. It's like, it's so good. I never read the comic though. I never read the comics.
I think I've got one floating around just because I got it in a random box at some point, but I don't think I've ever actually sat down and read it. I've probably got comics I have no idea I have because I would just buy a whole box. I'll go through it later and it's in my closet right now.
Yeah, I have a lot of weird ones that like my buddies would give me, or I would buy random stuff and I forgot. Like I forgot I had Masters of the Universe #1. I actually had the first appearance of He-Man in a comic.
The
ever.
one? Yeah.
The DC Presents, but I mean, it's like, I was like, oh, I've got all the V comics. Sean and I were talking about V. And I'm like, oh, I've got all the comics for V. I didn't even realize. I was just like, oh, yeah, when did I get these? And I don't know. I got them some point.
Yeah.
But, all right. Well, I put everyone's links. So make sure you guys are checking out Charlie's podcast and Sean's channels there. And Steve's channels or Steve's website is there for his books. Let's take a look at the poll here. So actually, we got a lot of votes. 10 votes. It's a 3-way tie. Hawk the Slayer, Barbarians, Soren the Sorcerer. Conquest has the least because everyone hates me and want so no, I'm not your friend, Charlie. So that's it. It's over.
What? I can't quite make out what's going on over there.
I'm gonna do. I'm getting the screw you guys. I'm going home. I gotta clip.
I'm going home. I was trying to find something plastic to put over. I don't know if it works.
Yeah.
Oh, you're gonna throw my blade up there. Hold on. Ooh, that's really good. Hold on. Whoa.
No, I can still tell what's going on. It's got to be more like something like this. Like
there's another edge. There it is. I found it. This is the greatest movie ever done. This is fantastic.
Sean, I got a comic book joke to go with that joke. Okay, a Mylar snug that you held for your comic book from 1982 and film that.
Yeah.
Film the film.
Yeah.
I
was looking for a trading card sleeve that's aged really bad. I know I've got floating around here somewhere.
You guys know what I mean. I mean, those things get nasty.
What comic is this? I don't even know. It's supposed to protect it, damn it.
If you cannot see that's a Neil Adams cover, you need to change that bag.
Exactly.
Oh, I think one of my Superboys was I had to replace one of my I forgot which he did it. I think this is Neil Adams, isn't it?
Oh God, I love that one. Oh my God. Oh.
I've got 2 of these. I bought a second one for a better copy. He had a third one, and I was like, do I really need 3 copies? I'm like, I probably do need 3 copies, but I'm just not going to get it right now. So, Sean, if you want that, there's another one at. There's still one more left at the shop.
J-Man, imagine that Conquest had been penciled and inked by Neil Adams in 1971 at the height of his powers.
Yeah, that would be awesome, man. Like they got to do a Conquest comic. I will make the next Conquest movie. Give me the money, and I will do it. And I will put fog. I'll put fog, but not that much fog. But
I want to be in charge of the fog machine.
Okay, a little bit. Well, everyone can join my Facebook group, which is You're the Hunter from the Future, and we do choose your own adventure. So we've been doing that for a while now.
Been fun.
I didn't like. Do you know how many of those I've done? There's so many posts.
Quite a bit.
Quite a bit.
I mean, today's was we took the juices from a bug and made fuel for the spaceship.
Yeah, so hungry boy, you're not in. So on my Facebook group, I have a group for You're the Hunter from the Future, and I've been continuing on the adventures of Yore. So right now, the Barbarian brothers are stranded on Yore's planet. And they left the planet to go to the Barbarians' homeworld in a Predator spaceship. So one of the Predators came down to hunt Yore. Yore defeated the Predator, and they are now in the Predator spaceship on the way to the Barbarian planets on the homeworld. But they crash land on Arrakis, so they just fought a sandworm, and they're using the sandworm's stomach acid to fuel the Predator spaceship to get back to the Barbarians' homeworld.
Okay, now that needed to be drawn by George Perez and
I'm not drawing any of it. Nobody's drawing any of it. It's like I just type it out. That's it.
And it's a choose your own adventure, so it's been hilarious. We control where it goes. It's
right.
I love it. I love it.
Yeah, so we're on part 12 of the Barbarians one, but prior to that, we were on number 55. So we've been we're close to 70 choose your own. So I've been doing choose your own adventures. Like I say, the worm attacks, what do you want to do? And then I give options, and then everyone votes for the option of what happens. We've got almost 70 polls based on that. I'm trying not to do it as often because it's I don't want it to be tedious. So I do one a week or something. I don't want it to be
one or two a week seems about the right way to get the most amount of interaction out of it. But it's fun. I love when it pops up there and I'm like, ooh, I get to vote. What am I doing?
Yeah.
How many times can I kill Roa? That's what I'm doing.
No, it's Kala.
That's what it was. Roa's still alive.
Yeah, she's a cyborg. Everyone killed Kala.
Yeah.
I
Pag lives forever. I don't give a shit. I don't.
I
care
know
how many
you're
times
such a
she plays.
Pag.
I'm a Pag fangirl. I don't give a
You're
shit.
a Pag.
Totally good.
So Hungry Boy, check out what Kala looks like now. She's now a cyborg.
What?
Yeah. They all turn. This not me.
I killed her.
On her.
Charlie killed her.
I killed her.
Damn it!
He killed her. I'll show you one more. I'll show you one more that you'll like. Hold on. Where's the one where I just had with the Barbarian brothers? Do I not have a? I should have a. I don't have that picture there. Where they joined, where they fought the sandworm. Crap! I thought I had. I must have deleted it or something, but it's on the thing. But anyway, so that's that. All right, guys. Well, this was really awesome.
Yeah.
So there you go. That your winners is the Barbarian. So I'm going to fix this up. So all of the matches were there. Those were the qualifiers. So I'll have these 4. I'll move the final 4 to the center, and then from there goes to the winner. So I'll just remove this final 2 section.
Yep, that'll work.
That sounds good.
And that'll be it. And I'm not going to put every movie we talked about because that's too much. But
I think it works.
Awesome. All right, guys. Well, that is it. Charlie, let everybody know what's the next couple of things coming out for your podcast.
Oh, let's see. We are right in the middle of our creature feature month on the horror show. Deep Star 6 comes out Tuesday, which is my very first R-rated monster movie I was ever allowed to watch.
Oh man, awesome!
And check out the podcast because there's a really cool story why that movie's burned into my brain. And then after that, we just recorded last night, but we did Steel Dawn with Patrick Swayze.
Does anyone have that on Blu-ray? Do you have that on Blu-ray? Because I have it in my cart.
On Blu-ray.
Okay.
The
So should I get
release.
it? Should I get it then? Yeah. Okay.
It's beautiful.
Okay.
It's beautiful cut. You get a cool little making of featurette that was done during the movie done. So you actually get interviews with Patrick Swayze and everyone else in it and his wife. No, we love it. It's going to be a fun episode because the other 2 co-hosts didn't like the movie. So I have to defend the movie the entire episode. So
oh my gosh.
It's going to be interesting.
Yeah. All right. Well, I have it in my save for later. So I'm moving it into my cart right now based on that.
Yep.
So I will order that probably.
Vestron does really good on their releases, man. So this was beautiful looking.
All right. And I also have my credit card with my bank gives me Amazon money as my reward.
Oh wow!
My coin or something?
No, Steve, you can get that too. It's TD.
Oh.
I used to have the auto plan. I'm like, I never use this points. I was like, I never use it. Like, well, you can use them on Amazon. I'm like, okay, how many points? So I had like $500 or something because I never used them. So I ordered a shit ton of stuff, and then now every credit card I've got like $12 right now. So it's like that Steel Dawn's going to cost me $10. Like I'm going to order it now. It's going to cost me $10.
I get mine works like a cash back thing, but what it'll do is it'll just say it as cash. So if you want to use the credit card, they'll just pull it out of that before they'll charge your card. So I don't have to do anything extra, and I can do it anywhere. But,
awesome.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So yeah, guys, check that out. That's you guys recorded on Thursdays, but your podcast actually comes out on Tuesdays. Right?
Every Tuesday alternates action and horror. So it's Give Me Back My Action and horror movies.
Charlie, can you put your channel link into the private chat so I can hook up to it?
Yeah, I'll put it.
Man, you got it quicker. Yeah, you've got it.
Yeah, I've got it right here. Hold on a second. I'll put it in the private chat. So I'll give him the podcast link, right?
Yeah, that one that you got right there, the Spotify is the best one.
Spotify's good.
But
so
we're on everything, like iTunes, Spotify, Google Play.
Yeah.
Anywhere you get podcasts, it's there.
So anywhere you want. Yeah. So Hungry Boy, you can even just search for it. Like if you just go to Apple or whatever you have there, just type in.
But that link will shoot you right to it, man. It'll be good. We have a YouTube channel, which we do have that going on Monday. Might as well plug that. We're doing the Tubi Files, which we pick a movie off of Tubi that none of us have seen.
Horror and sci-fi. I love it.
And we're doing 1985's Creature. I've never seen it. I looked at it. I'm like, how did I don't know how we missed it in our where we did Forbidden Planet and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But we're going to cover that Tuesday, so we're going to live react to it. We do one a month.
Since you're talking about horror and Tubi right now, and also I would like the link to your YouTube channel.
It's in there too. I just gave it.
Thank you. Yeah, you sent that to me in DM or in the private chat?
Private chat. So I just put it in the private chat right now.
Okay, hold on. Opening link.
I could DM it to you here. I'll DM it to you on Twitter.
Thank you.
Done. I have every window. Imagine. I'm like Ozymandias. I have like all of the screens going on.
Everything.
Whisperer. But the thing is, I would like to say about Tubi is you've got the uncut version of The Beyond by Lucio Fulci on Tubi right now.
Wow.
So,
I've got the pin of that.
Yeah, I need to watch that.
Oh, you do need to watch that. Oh, Charlie, you do need to watch.
I've never seen the uncut version of it, so I need to watch. Yeah, that, and I think The Void is on there right now. I need to check that
awesome.
out. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Huh.
That was the one I recommended to J-Man, and he said was so great. Oh,
it was awesome.
Cool.
Yes, I watched it.
Yeah.
I did watch that one right away.
Yep. Tubi is fantastic. I want to be sponsored by them. That's it. It's like just sponsor me, and I don't want money. Just give me the premium package so it remembers where I left off.
I'll take Charlie's money.
I wish we could all make a movie together and put it on Tubi just for for fuck's sake.
I'm on Tubi. I'm in a movie on Tubi.
Oh, yeah. Awesome! What movie was that?
It is called. I gotta remember what the name of it. It's a documentary my buddy did about his being an author and a director. And he did a bunch of interviews, and I'm in like a couple of the interviews.
When you find it, send to me on Messenger.
Yeah, I'll send that to you once I find the title of it.
I think our movie with the top three of us. See you later, Shooter. We're going to be done in a minute. Our movie Skull World, which all the top three of us are in. It's about Skullman. That's on Tubi, I think.
Yeah, I was going to say, is that not on TV as well?
Yeah,
it was on. It definitely was before. I don't know if it's still there now.
Oh, about 50 pounds heavier. Not really.
I'm 100 pounds heavier.
Yeah,
so unrecognizable. Let me see. Skull World. I don't think it's on there anymore.
Oh yeah, I remember.
Kirby at War is on there.
Oh,
Kirby at War. That's Clobby has been like saying I got to watch that, and I think he was. Maybe was Skull World one word? Maybe it was one word. Nope, it's not there anymore. Damn.
Oh wow. Yeah.
That sucks.
We're not even on Tubi anymore.
Damn you.
I just subscribed to Charlie, so there you go.
All right. So Steve, you've got your new book is available through the link I gave, right?
Yep.
Like it'll take you to Amazon?
Yep.
So
all right. Sean, what do you got going on your channel?
I have to load a bunch of comic stuff on there. That'll be in the next couple of weeks. I don't have anything planned right now, so I've just been busy at work.
All right, cool. All right, well that's it then, guys. We will end off there. Thanks to everybody who joined us in the chat and everyone who voted. It's a three-way tie, and nobody likes Conquest, so I'm going to be upset. I won't be able to sleep tonight. I'll be fine. I'll be fine. I know my love for Conquest will get me through. But okay, guys, and I want to say thanks to everybody who's watching my Superboy videos. What the heck? I'm really happy about that. Going through these old Superboy comics, everybody's watching these. That's great. It's like such a random idea I had. So thanks to everybody who liked that. But okay, that is it. Then we will see you when we see you. Take care.
Hey friends, you've just been listening to J-Man, and he is the smartest person who ever lived. So make sure you like and subscribe.